A Pair of Pears Fruit Painting by Monica Velo. During this painting, I'd like you to think about what your favorite fruit is. I'm going to show you how to paint two pears on a table, but these pears can be apples or peaches, something nice that you can hang on a kitchen wall. You will need several materials. A canvas board. The one that I had was a 12 by 9, but you can have a smaller or larger one. A 12-inch ruler, a pencil, eraser, two brushes, one flat, one round. These can be a little bigger or a little smaller. It depends on the size of your canvas. Acrylic paint, 5 to 6 colors, paper towels, and a container of water to rinse brushes. Let's begin. You might want to put your canvas on a piece of paper to protect a table, and the same thing with your paint. Once you have your canvas down, you will be making 2 horizontal lines and 1 vertical line. The first horizontal line will be at the bottom. That will be an edge of a table. The second horizontal line will be about 1/3 to 1/2 up the page. That will be the back of the table. And then the vertical line is going to separate a wall from a curtain. So this can be a little bit, I would consider making the wall a little bit bigger than the curtain that will be on the right. The acrylic paints that you will need, and a lot of times acrylic paint come in a set of like 10 or 12. You don't need much paint. I think the white is the paint that you'll need the most of. So you will need white, a brilliant blue, a light green. I used cadmium yellow medium, but any yellow will do. I used raw sienna and raw umber. Those are 2 browns, and a lot of times when mixed will actually look like a piece of wood. I suggest that you stay with the cool colors, a yellow or yellowish green and blue. These are also called analogous colors. They are on the color wheel, and they're always next to each other. And they're really good when you want to mix color. It's really hard to mix these up. And of course, neutrals for your table. I'm going to suggest browns, but you can also use gray for a table. We're going to do the first upper left rectangle. This will be your wall. We're going to paint it a very pale yellow. And by doing that, you're going to mix yellow into your white slowly. Always mix a color into the white so that you can get the right shade. You want it very, very yellow because your fruit will want to stand out later. When you're painting, I recommend the flat brush for this because you want to duplicate it as a wall. So what you want to do is paint with your flat brush up and down or sideways in nice even strokes, staying within the lines. The next section that you would paint would be the section on the right, which will be a curtain. This would be by adding blue to white and by painting it a little bit rougher. You will have to take your flat brush and rinse it really well, in your container of water and drying it really well. If you put blue and yellow, you'll have green. So you want to make sure that your brush is clean, or if you have an extra brush, you can use that. With this curtain that you're going to be forming on the right, you want to go up and down, kind of making it so that it has a little bit of pleating going on. We will go back on that later. Again, you'll be rinsing your brush after you finish with the blue paint and make sure it's dry. And we're going to start with the table. Again, use that flat brush. It's very nice to use a flat brush when you're going across a straight line. On the bottom edge, a very tiny edge that you put a line there, that's going to be the edge of your table. And you want to use the raw umber for this. It's a nice dark brown, and you can put that on smoothly. Once you've done the darker brown, you can go up to the top brown, and you can add a little bit of that raw sienna into the brown along with some white to make it a little bit lighter. Now remember, take those browns and add them to the white, not the white, to the color. You can slowly make it lighter and lighter this way. Once you've found a really nice brown, and you don't have to worry about mixing this too much because wood has like a streaky pattern to it, you want to go and paint it horizontally. That means paint from left to right or right to left, back and forth, producing like a wood grain with streaks. Again, you want to wash out your brushes, make them nice and dry, and we're going to proceed with your pencil. Lightly on your brown after it's been dry, and sometimes people use hair dryers or just wave their canvas in the air. Wait till it's totally dry, and you'll be drawing two images of your fruit. Again, I did pears, but these could be apples, peaches, two bananas. You can even mix your fruit. With my pencil, I first lightly sketched out two pears on their side. And then with my round brush, I painted them in solid white. You'll probably want to give these two coats. The more solid you can make them, the easier it be to paint them later with the color of your choice. When you've finished your white, you'll want to make the shadow reflection. Your light source will be coming from the left, so your shadow will be under more towards the bottom right of your fruit. Mix some raw umber into the white, and it will turn into like a brownish gray. Go around the bottom and to the right of each pear, and on the table, put this darker image. This will be the shadows. Now rinse out your round brush and make sure it's really dry. And you're going to be going around the white with a brighter yellow. You can lighten it a little bit with white, but you want it to be a lot brighter than your back wall. Again, you might want to give it 2 coats of paint for the pears. While the yellow dries, go back to your palette with your little brush and find that brown you made for the table. Add a little white to it and add 2 little stems on each end of your pears, just like in the illustration. Again, you don't have to mix this color too much. You can see I add even a little bit light brown on top of the dark brown to give it a little bit of a 3D approach. This way, the stem can stick out a little. Rinse out the round brush again and dry it. And now go into your green. It could be a very bright green or a greenish blue. I think any green really works well with this. And go under the underside of each fruit. Just touch it a little bit with green. Maybe break up the top a little bit with some green. I would add a little bit of green around the stems, maybe the tip of the stem, and even a little bit on the bottom of the one pear that's leaning in the background. Keep adding some more green. On your plate, try mixing a little bit more yellow in that green. Again, or maybe a little bit of blue. You're going to stay with those colors. And as you can see, the pear in my demonstration in the background is a little brighter green than the one in the front. You could reverse this too. When you feel that your fruit is finished, you can rinse out your brushes and just go back and touch up things. You might want to touch up your table a little bit. You might want to go and put some texture into that curtain and some stripes to give it more of a flowing feeling. Congratulations, though. Great work.